Hello again. I'm going to start this video off with some questions and stuff. You can answer throughout the video. You can leave in the comments or whatnot. First question, well, I got a few questions actually. So, first question is for anybody out there that's learning how to play guitar, more pertaining to those that are in their first year or first 2 years or less. Just curious on how well your guitar playing is coming along. Are you getting the hang of having your fingers on the fretboards and moving them around? Getting the hang of sliding your fingers down, scales, notes, so forth, so on. Is there anything you're struggling with? Maybe it's timing or picking or sort of thing. I know that some people and stuff, they may be still working on finger placement or whatnot. Maybe even learning the notes of the guitar. Maybe even still have questions about how do I go about learning how to play guitar or whatnot. I put this together a little bit here that may help some. And yes, I've shown it in other videos before, and I know a few people have probably seen it. But some things that may help. First thing here is, and these images and stuff are probably going to cover up my guitar and possibly even part of my face. That's fine. So this first part right here, the notes on the guitar. If you have your guitar tuned to standard E tuning, which pretty much means that the E, A, D, G, B, E over on the left side of the screen there in square, that would be the tuning. So when you play each string without any frets pressed down and stuff, that's what the notes should ring out to be. Sort of thing. Now, this may seem like a kind of difficult to remember where all these notes are if your guitar is tuned this way and you're trying to figure out where all these notes are. So I've gotten it broken down in this video and stuff on different sections and how I want to go about learning this. Now when I pick up my guitar and stuff, I pretty much know where all the notes are, which notes which and what for. The great thing about it is it only goes from A to G, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now you'll notice that some of the notes and stuff are right next to each other and other notes are not. Molly referring to, so if you ever see any B note on your guitar or on this sheet right here, you'll see the C right after it, and then there'll be an open space. So every B and C are going to be what's considered a half step, where all the other notes except for the E, F are going to be whole steps. So anytime you play a B, for example, the B string right here, the C is going to be a half step away from it, so one fret down. So B, C. Now if you look at this, there are multiple B's and multiple C's. And as you can tell and stuff, the E and F are the same way. So on the E strings, when you play the E, the F is a half step down. They refer to it as a half step down just because it's the next fret. Anything that anything on this sheet right here that has nothing in the circle is considered a whole step. So going from say an F to a G, that's actually considered a whole step. Or going from the E to the F or the B to the C is considered a half a step. So how I broke this down myself and stuff when I first started learning how to play to memorize where all these notes were on the guitar, and yes, pretty much all the notes on the guitar and stuff I have memorized. I know exactly where to find them. I know what notes they are. I'm not 100% at it. I'm roughly around 90-95% at it, so some of the notes may take me a second to remember which ones they are, but the way I broke it down was I started with this section right here. Now if you're playing your guitar and you're using your first 4 frets, your first 4 fingers to play, open first, sort of thing. And don't be afraid to go backwards with it. have to be in that pattern. So you can go backwards first. And then vice versa with the finger going back up the strings. Now, using this sheet right here and stuff, if we were just to play those notes right there, I'm going to start at the bottom where the E is, go to the F, G, and back over to the A in the square. And that'll be the pattern I play right here on my fingers. So, we'll start with the E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, you know, you probably can't see my fingers that well. That's why I've got that chart up there. And as you can see and stuff, there is a number 3 down there. That 3 indicates which fret that note's on. So, then down to the D string, to the G string, B string, E string, and you can play it backwards. And you can manipulate it if you want to. But this is pretty much the starting point of it right here. As you're doing this and stuff, get used to calling out the notes. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And go backwards with it. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. Forwards and backwards. Until you pretty much get that down. And you can use this right here and stuff for a while. If you get bored of doing it this way, which, by the way, when you're playing this way and stuff, you get to a point where you can finally play at a speed like this. And yes, when you first start playing and stuff at the beginning of the day and stuff, you may have to warm up a little bit before you can get to those speeds. And sometimes I have to too. I have to get my fingers warmed up and all that sort of stuff. But if you get tired of doing something like that, there's also this one right here. So instead of doing that, you do this section right here. You can see the 3 and the 5 at the bottom, indicating the 3rd fret and the 5th fret. Now normally when I'm playing that stuff, I'll use my middle finger to start on the 3rd fret because you also have the 2nd fret on there too. So my first finger is going to play that 2nd fret. And here's kind of how that looks. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then the D and going to the F right there, you kind of have to slide your hand down a little, 1 fret. So it's also giving you another exercise right there. D, E, F, G, A. And then you do it backwards. So now we've taken a pattern like this, where our fingers are getting used to those positions right there and pressing down on the strings like it is right there, to this right here, where now we're using 5 frets with 4 fingers. So we have to shift our finger every so often to play the higher notes. But it's also a completely different pattern that we're playing. So we have to get used to moving our fingers around in a different pattern right there, to where eventually you get your speeds built up. And yes, there are scales in this. Now I can't remember all the scales. The pentatonic scale is the most common one, and that's the one I remember the best. But yes, I don't know them all yet. I don't know how to play them all either. I started with learning a couple scales and stuff, learning the notes on the guitar, getting my fingers to where they would move across and everything like that. And then I went to learning songs. By the way, if you are learning songs as a beginner player and stuff, going from this to a song and stuff, you should break the song down into sections as well, just like this. So if the song is this long right here, however long or whatnot, break it into sections. Square it off into that section and learn that section first. Then break it down into this section, learn this section. and try to add both these sections together. That's my best way of learning how to play. Now, the farther you get in your playing and stuff, the more you'll be able to expand those sections into bigger sections where you can learn both these sections simultaneously and then move on to the next two sections, sort of thing. Like I said, this was how I did it and stuff. If you find another method that works better for you, then feel free to go ahead and use it. But with something that I had picked up and stuff from a college professor was, I didn't complete college, I just took a few courses in college, but was to open my mind up. So I figured out and stuff as opening up my mind. I'm breaking this down into sections. That's part of the opening up of your mind. Seeing the different sections, breaking it down, breaking down things and stuff works very well and stuff because instead of having a huge pile of say puzzle pieces to try to put together, you grab a few of them and try to put those few puzzle pieces together. I know most puzzles and stuff, a lot of people will start with the outside border. Well, that's just a fragment of the puzzle. And then they'll take a few pieces, pull them out and stuff, try to find places for them. Colors that match, colors that don't match, sort of thing. So yes, once you get to this point right here, to where you can play this part right here, maybe you try it. Oops. And yeah, it did take me about a week or two, maybe even longer than that. I don't remember exactly how long, to be able to get that sort of a pattern down on my guitar to where I could play it. Now, does that mean that that's the only way I could play in that section of the guitar? No. I could sit here and see, I still struggle a little bit and stuff with getting my fingers to work independently doing what I really want them to do. And yes, you can see and stuff, I still raise my pinky too far up when it shouldn't be that high. It should be more like right there, closer to the fretboard, getting ready for the next one. There's some people that do say, and this could be another question and stuff if anybody watches this video, some people do say and stuff when you go backwards from this right here and you're lifting your fingers up to play, that you should bring your hand down first and then start doing it. And I really struggle with that still. So I'm only in my first year of playing. Unfortunately, there was a short break and stuff in between my playing from the start of it to now, so I'm kind of trying to get back into the groove of playing again. And what I mean by that is I started a year ago. I played for about 3 or 4 months solid pretty well, and then took about a 3 or 4 month break because of other things, and then came back to it. So I'm trying to get back into the hardcore learning, picking up my guitar every day, which again is a question I had for you beginners and stuff. Do you pick up your guitar every day and sit here and practice these things on a daily basis? Practice this, practice this. Here's a third section and stuff. This is actually the first part of what I learned right here. So again, we had this right here, and you'll see that a lot of the notes and stuff are mimicked from this to this, but in this right here pattern, going to this right here, we're just breaking it down into another section. Now, the more I do that on throughout the day and stuff, the faster I'll get at it, the better I'll get at it, as well as when I come back to it the next day and stuff, I'll get faster and faster and better at it. Because there's some people you can literally watch when they play the guitar, they'll sit there and I can't go like 300 beats per minute yet. I can normally do, once they get warmed up, about 200, 250 and stuff once they get warmed up. My fingers are not loosened up yet, they're not warmed up yet, so I'm working on it. But yeah, that would be the next section right there and stuff to focus on. And then you got this section right here. So taking this right here, breaking it down into sections again, like you see and stuff. The notes can be overlapping each other in per section and everything, and you're welcome to pause the video and stuff to get used to each section right here. When you get down to the final section right here, and that's fret 7 and 9. When you get down to the final section down here, it goes from fret 9 to 12 or whatnot and stuff. You'll notice if you're looking closely, there's two G's that are back to back. What I'm referring to on these G's, so you have that G right there, and that G right there. So if you were playing them in normal order and stuff, you'd end up hitting a G twice. I tend to avoid this because I'm not trying to learn G, G. I'm trying to learn G, A. So E, F, G, and then to A again. So I would simply, when I play this, I would simply take that G out right there and play this G in its place. And then go from that G to that A right there. And then the last section to learn would be this right here. So I've only got the 12th fret on there. Does that mean that we're only learning how to play the 12th fret? No. So from the 12th fret to the 13th, 14th, 15th, and so on, this right here mimics the top of the guitar right there. So I don't have to really remake it and show you from the 12th fret down there to the 13th, 14th. No. Once you get to the 12th fret on your guitar, if you notice and stuff, all this, the notes and stuff are the same as the square notes. So you just put that in place. 12th fret right here. See if I got an image of that right there. Yep, 12th fret right there. And then the 13th fret, 14th fret, 15th fret. You can see the little bitty 3 down there at the bottom. You just ignore that. At that point in time right there, like I said, it'd be the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th fret. So you'll be all the way down here, playing the 12th fret, if you're still trying to learn all the notes. And the notes are going to continuously repeat. So this right here image is identical to this image. So that's right there up here going to the 3rd fret. Well, at the 12th fret, right there, or right there, it's the same thing. You're just at the 12th fret instead of this fret. So if you were to continue on, it's 12, 13, 14, 15 frets. So if you're down here and stuff and you're continuously going on, it's going to be the same repeated pattern. So then at the 15th fret there where the 3 is, we're going to be right here. So instead of it being the 3, which would actually be the 15th fret, you're going to have the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th fret. And then it just depends on how many frets you have beyond that stuff, playing any other notes higher than that. But I mean, that right there is just an image of literally the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th fret on your guitar, which is identical to this right here. It's just the frets are much closer together. Now, another thing you can do besides just these techniques and breaking them down this way to where we're having our fingers and stuff in 4 different frets and stuff, playing all throughout these 4 frets in this little square right here. Something else you can do is when you're playing this, if you want to add in another exercise, you can start with this right here. Just play on that E string. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And then backwards. E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. And you can do that with the next string too. A, B, C, D, E, F. And like again, like I said, the B and C are only going to be half steps apart. They're always going to be half steps apart. And the E, F will be the same way. Those are what's considered half steps. Everything else that has an empty circle is considered a whole step. How do I know this? Well, music theory. Music theory will teach you about these half steps and whole steps. So, anything you're going to learn on the guitar and stuff, you can simply just break it down into sections. You can look up specific chords if you're trying to figure out a chord. You can look up specific notes. You can use these diagrams, pause the video and stuff in the diagram and stuff and work on just learning how to play those specific things For example, you want to get better at playing this right here part. So you're going to start at the 7th fret. You're going to start here at the 7th fret and simply play B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Now, yeah, I had the chart up there and stuff, but I've remembered myself and stuff because I've been doing this for a while now, where all these notes are. How does this pertain to playing music? So, if you're playing a song, for example, a song that I've done before on here and stuff, Wild Thing, where it's got an A chord, a D chord, an E chord, a G chord, and then it goes back to an A chord, sort of thing. You can still play that same song just using notes. So if you know where the notes are, A, D, to the E, to the G, and then back to the A. Now, will it sound the same? Not 100% no. But if you have, so yesterday or last night and stuff, I got together with a group of people and stuff. We decided to do a Twitch stream. I think there was about a half dozen to a dozen of us. Multiple guitars, piano, bass, acoustics, drums, so forth, so on and stuff. And we were all just jamming together and stuff, trying to play a few songs together. So if a couple of the guitars were playing, say the open chords up here at the top, the A, D, E, and G, they were playing the open chords, then maybe somebody else would play the bar chords instead of that specific thing. So the A bar chord, the D bar chord, so I'm using my middle finger there when I can use my first finger to mute that string. And then you got the E bar chord. So you can play down here. And then you got the G. And then there's the back to the A. If you know that song and stuff, you kind of understand what I'm getting at with that. So you can do bar chords, you can do power chords, you can do just single notes and stuff. Play it multiple different ways. So one guitar can have the open chords, another guitar can have bar chords, another guitar can have power chords, another guitar can just use regular notes to play that song. That way you're not hearing multiple guitars playing open chords or whatever. It was an interesting experience. I enjoyed it. Something new. Unfortunately, we weren't all actually together, so we were all live streaming together. So the latency or computer issues we were having and stuff from one computer to the next, trying to hear each other and stuff, was kind of throwing us off a little bit. So I don't know actually how it sounded on the Twitch stream itself, but yeah, it was the first time we'd done it and stuff, and I imagine in the future and stuff, as we keep going on, we'll probably make adjustments and stuff. It was also getting kind of late for quite a few of us, so quite a few of us were probably tired or whatnot. I know I worked all day before that, so I was kind of tired from standing up at work all day long, but but anyways, yeah, so when I play songs and stuff, say Pretty Woman, for example, I do break that song down into sections. And that's pretty much the first section right there. I'll break it down into this, try to get this down real well. And then maybe move on to the next section, add the other section into it. Sort of thing. And then move on to the next section, try to add the sections together, sort of thing. So breaking things down into sections like I just showed you with this with these notes here and stuff doesn't necessarily have to just apply to this. It can apply to any part of playing guitar. Focus on maybe your picking style. Listening to the song and just sitting there trying to pick it and stuff like every time you hear the drum beat, sort of thing. And when I'm sitting here trying to learn the chords on the guitar, for example, bar chords, I'm still struggling with quite a bit. So a song that I've been learning to play, I'll play that right there. Don't have to play it a lot, just play it once. And then jump to the bar chord that I'm currently struggling with. And then to the next chord. And then to the next chord. And so this whole idea of doing this is not just referring to getting used to moving your fingers around, but we're also using that same exercise doing this. Sort of thing. And until we get down to where we can actually sit there and just kind of I can't do it because, like I said, the bar chords keep throwing me off. But the idea and stuff would be to play those 4 open chords on a metronome, which is, I'm pointing over here and stuff because my amp is over here, the object that actually has my metronome. But sitting there playing that on the metronome at a slow beat. And then once I get it down and stuff, turn the beats up, maybe 5 beats more per minute or whatnot and stuff, and try to keep up with that. Where I'm not sitting here going with huge pauses in between. I'm just same thing with any other chords and stuff. So regular chords. So if you have a bunch of chords and stuff that you know already and stuff, you can just kind of sit there and run through them over and over and over, just the same. Or so even if you're getting tired of this right here, you're going to continue having to do this kind of same pattern over and over. Get used to chords, power chords. Or getting used to holding a string while you're playing a different set of power chords. You can kind of sometimes bring your thumb up here to mute this E string, especially if you're playing a power chord like that. If you're not used to stuff, I get all the strings right there, and then I can break it down as well this way. Yep, that one's muted like it's supposed to be. That one's ringing out. That one's ringing out. Yep. So it's just those 3 strings I want to ring out, and it looks like my fingers are all the way across on almost every string except for one, but they're not. They're touching a few of them to mute them, and the other few and stuff that I'm wanting to actually press down is being pressed down. But it looks like I've got my fingers across everything almost. I don't. So muted, play, mute. And you may have to adjust your fingers a little bit there. That's where good positioning with this hand right here and getting comfortable with where this hand sits on the guitar is very helpful. And then the same thing and stuff with your picking hand. So there's different ways to hold a pick. There is. I'm more comfortable this way and stuff because when I'm picking individual strings and stuff, this hand right here sitting on the body of the guitar is kind of giving me a basis of where I need to be. Where if it was like this, I may not be able to find it right away. Now you'll notice and stuff that a lot of times when I am playing, it may not always be on it, or I may be sliding my hand back and forth on that. So even when you're doing these exercises, pay attention to where your fingers are and how they're working and stuff. If you can find a way, I mean, if it looks alright to you and it feels comfortable to you, then that's great. If it doesn't and stuff, and you can find a way to help yourself remember, well, I need to be on this string for this. See, I'm just messing around with the actual notes is all I'm doing, but yeah, it's great exercise. I can make up all kinds of different songs doing that. So yeah, for the beginners out there and stuff, are you still picking up your guitar on a daily basis? Are you still practicing all these things right here? Are you trying to learn these notes right here? Are you trying to learn chords? Are you getting your exercises in? Are you paying attention to how you're strumming, your strumming pattern on this particular guitar and stuff? I always have to pay attention to this right here, because if I put my wrist or arm against this right here and stuff, it actually changes the pitch of the strings. And what I mean by that, and I've gotten to I can do that occasionally, but I try to avoid it because I'm not actually trying to change pitch. So, and that's just putting a little bit of pressure on that. It's intended, it has a hole right here and stuff for a wah-wah barge, where if I want to sit there and bring it up here and manipulate the strings and stuff to vary the sounds of the strings and stuff, I can. But right now I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about learning these songs. So yeah, are you picking up your guitar every day? Are you playing your guitar? Are you practicing tempo, timing, finger movements, chords? Are you doing this part right here, going down? And it doesn't have to be just the notes. You can do all of them. And again, another idea and stuff when doing this, you want to try to keep it to where the notes are coming out consistently through up and down the guitar. So if you're following a metronome and stuff, you want to be able to make sure it's slow enough, but as fast as you can get it, to where you can keep up with it, and yet it doesn't sound terrible. Every note rings out like it should. And yeah, I showed you the low E string there and stuff, but you can do it on the E string right there. Or you just do the notes E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, sort of thing. It'll help you. Saying them out loud and stuff does kind of help me as far as getting used to them. But yeah, if you can answer those questions and stuff, are you picking up your guitar every day? Are you keeping it in tune? Are you keeping it cleaned up? Are you practicing your finger movements, your strumming, good techniques? Are you trying to learn the notes? Are you trying to learn chords? Are you trying to learn a song? If you're learning one song, that's fine and stuff. I've got a list of songs and stuff, more than a dozen songs I'm trying to learn and stuff, and the idea behind that is so I don't get myself burnt out on songs. You'll find it and stuff. If maybe, like for instance, my goal and stuff, whether I play in front of anybody else or not, yeah, I would like to be able to play some music and stuff with a band or whatnot. I can tell you right now, playing the guitar, learning the guitar is one thing. Playing the guitar and singing while you're playing is a different story. That's another thing where you got to break it down to the steps. I started with learning the guitar parts first and stuff, trying to learn specific songs, and then when I decided I wanted to try to sing with it and stuff, and I learned quickly and stuff, instead of trying to play and sing at the same time, I was just going to put the words to it. So I was going to play it and put words to it, not actually try to sing. So my focus was on remembering what I needed to do on the guitar and the lyrics of the song. So I wasn't focused on my singing ability. But here's the thing about that. You notice I said focus on the chords I need to play as well as the lyrics of the songs. Well, trying to remember both those at the same time is going to mess up your timing, your tempo with playing the guitar itself, or even getting the words out at the proper time. So in order to do both of them, you have to make it so that one of them is just being done naturally. So you can sit here, and again, I've demonstrated this before too. I'm going to remove this off the screen here real quick. I've demonstrated before too and stuff. Sitting here playing these things and talking at the same time, or having a conversation with somebody at the same time, can be very useful if you're trying to sit there and play guitar and sing at the same time. Because what you're trying to do and stuff is you're trying to get your hands to know what to do without having to think about it or without having to look at it. And that can be difficult, very difficult. Give it a shot. Try it. And you'll see just how difficult that is to do. Sit there and have a conversation with somebody and focus on the conversation over playing the guitar, and your hands are just doing what they know to do. So yes, talking or singing or putting lyrics with music and stuff, this just has to kind of be on its own and know what it's doing. Since you're not focused on this part and stuff at that point in time, I do suggest doing audio recordings. Audio record yourself playing the guitar and trying to do the lyrics at the same time. Play it back, listen to it carefully, find where your mistakes are, see if you need to work on playing the guitar more, learn the lyrics better, whatnot. Because the next step and stuff, like I said, for me, playing the guitar and being in a band with somebody or a group of people would be a new start. So learning to play guitar and stuff, it's just a new start. You add lyrics to it, you're starting all over again. You obviously know how to play guitar, but now you're trying to add another thing in there, which is pulling focus on one thing. So you got to be natural at one thing, have it learned so well that it doesn't take any thought whatsoever to do it, and then start working on remembering the lyrics and how it's supposed to be sounded with it. And then the final step, playing with the band, well, now you're starting all over again. Because you know how to play the guitar, you know how to sing the song while you're playing the guitar. But does your other bandmates know the same version of the song you're playing? Can you all keep the same timing? Can you all play the same notes, same keys, or whatnot? There are going to be reset periods in this and stuff where you're going to have to relearn some things, relearn the timing, relearn the song, learn how well you guys work together. When you're in a band and stuff, the better you get along outside of playing in a band, probably the better you're going to be about being able to playing with them as well, as far as music is concerned. So give that some thought. This sort of thing can apply to a lot of different things, breaking things down. It's like I said, my professor got me to open my mind and see things in a different way, so I learned how to see patterns and stuff and break it down to where it makes it easier to learn these things. So answer the questions if you have the questions and stuff. If you have any suggestions or comments and stuff, I appreciate you posting them and stuff. Good or bad, doesn't matter to me. If you got any tips or advice or whatnot, I listen to it all and stuff and take it all into consideration, try to add what I can and stuff that'll be helpful to me as far as tips and advice are concerned. If you like the video, click the like button. And if you want to see future videos and stuff of me trying to learn how to play songs and inspire other people and stuff, hit the subscribe button and you can see anytime when I'm putting a new video up. I don't put one up every day. I don't put one up all the time. Sometimes I put more than one up. It can vary just depending on how I feel. As far as I'm concerned, for the rest of the day, I'm going to be sitting here working on getting better at the songs that I'm learning how to play. the songs that I know how to play, get better at playing them, and maybe even try to work on continuously adding words to the songs I'm currently learning how to play. So, hope you're still playing your guitar and enjoy.